We're not at the site of the fireworks. We're away from it. When people were leaving, I think they were not disciplined, and it caused a stampede.
For the moment, the cause of the tragedy is unclear, and there remain questions about security. But the governor of Abidjan said all security measures had been taken.
We started the fireworks at 12:30, and it finished at 12:45. Everyone went home because the proper security measures were in place and worked. No one was at the site of the fireworks at the time of the incident.
Security was a major concern for authorities ahead of the event, and there was a large police presence. Deputy Defense Minister Paul Kofi Kofi said authorities were concentrated outside the city.
In the city center, there were already fireworks displays in place, so we didn't stay long. We came to the periphery of the city because when people were celebrating in the city center, we had to watch over people going in and out of the city.
This is the second year that Abidjan has had a fireworks display to mark the new year in Côte d'Ivoire. Last year, festivities went over without any major incidents.
2012 was not a good year for Mali, considering the political and economic crisis the country is going through. The country was plunged into chaos when their president, Toumani Touré, was overthrown in a military coup, and the Islamist rebels took control of the vast north. This CFI report looks at how Malians hope to usher in the year 2013 and their dreams for their currently crisis-ridden country.
2012 was certainly not a good year for Mali. The country was plunged into a deep crisis when President Toumani Touré was overthrown in a military coup, and in the ensuing chaos, Islamists took control of the vast north of the country. The conflict has been dragging on for nearly a year. So what's the outlook for 2013? In his end-of-the-year speech, interim President Diakounda Traoré focused on finding a rapid solution to the crisis.
Mali will not wait for years, as some have advised. We will not wait for the cancer to spread throughout the body. The war against the terrorists will take place earlier than some think.
In the capital, Bamako, people were getting ready to usher in the new year despite the crisis. Some even bought poultry at the market for the New Year's meal.
My first wish for the future of the Malian people is that we unite and find peace. The current situation in the country is not easy.
But for others, this is no time for celebration. The political and economic crisis is too painful.
We cannot celebrate in Mali today. All we can do is stay put and play cards, that's all.
Things are terrible, nothing is right. There's no money in the country, really.
But most Malians greeted the new year with the hope that 2013 will see a return to peace and stability, even if this will take time and a lot of patience.
Now people the world over welcome 2013 in different ways and styles. For people in Burma, they celebrated New Year for the first time outdoors since the military took over. CFI looks at how different cities celebrated New Year's Eve, even in different ways.
Auckland, New Zealand was one of the world's first major cities to usher in 2013 on Tuesday. The celebrations began with fireworks on top of the Auckland Sky Tower. And Burma came out of years of isolation with its festivities. It was the first time that New Year's celebrations were allowed outdoors. Under military rule, public gatherings were banned. Meanwhile, the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, gave a speech broadcast on state media in which he called for an end to the tensions with the South. His address took the place of the traditional policy-setting New Year editorial published in the papers. Elsewhere in Asia, China's metropolis Shanghai held a light show and a 3D projection on the facade of a historical building. There was also a fireworks display. And in New York, in Times Square, lovers ring in the new year with a kiss. An estimated 1 million people flock to watch the fireworks in Manhattan. And over in Russia, thousands came out to welcome the new year in the Red Square. While in Brazil, a record number of people attended the New Year's festivities. An estimated 2 million people celebrated in Rio de Janeiro with a fireworks display over Copacabana Beach. And Dubai exploded with colors on the world's largest skyscraper. And finally in Paris, people rang in the new year with champagne under the Eiffel Tower without the traditional fireworks.
Time now to take another break. When we come back, we'll take a look at sports. Stay tuned in. Welcome back, and time now to join Famara Fofana for a look at the sports news. Famara.
Okay, thank you very much, Alpha. We'll be looking at England, where Manchester United maintained their recent good run of form with a thumping 4-0 win over Wigan at the DW Stadium. 2 goals each from Mexican striker Javi Hernandez and Premier League top scorer Robin Van Persie ensured Sir Alex Ferguson's side will enter the new year with a hefty 7-point lead ahead of nearest challengers and title holders Manchester City. Roberto Mancini's side smacked a resilient Stoke City side 3-0 to stay in touching distance with the Barclays Premier League leaders. In other scores, relegation threatened Aston Villa led 2-1 at Swansea until the 94th minute when striker Danny Graham drew the Swans level. Tottenham Hotspur stayed third after coming from behind to beat Reading 3-1 at White Hart Lane. West Bromwich Albions' recent struggles continues with a home defeat to Fulham at the Hortons. Fatu, before you look at the recap, do you follow any international football?
You know, I'm not a sports person. I'm not very much into football, but I like some of their personalities. Like I like Balotelli. I don't know why.
What for? Despite his troublesome career?
I think that's what I like about him.
Okay.
And the fact that, you know, he's very proud and he has a lot of pride.
His swagger?
Yes, I love his swagger.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And before we go, reminder of headlines. The Vice President has presided over the annual presentation of cash to the mothers of the first babies on behalf of the First Lady. Celebration of the year 2013 has taken different forms and styles in the country, spiced up by a cultural display in the capital city, Banjul. New Year's Eve celebrations have turned sour as squaws die in a deadly stampede in the Ivory Coast. And Malians have ushered in a new year with apprehension and dread in the wake of recent political and economic turmoil in the West African state. That brings us to the end of the news. Thank you very much for your time. On behalf of the news team, I am Fatu Kamara wishing you all once again a very happy new year. And I promise next week this call will be gone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.